Okay, what's going on, LBHT crew? B, what is going
What's
on?
going on, man?
Not too much, man. Happy Wednesday. Shout out to Eric. Oh, Click One is already here. He said, "What's up, guys? Real hot minute." I know, man. It's been a while, man.
What's
We
up,
got
Click?
ghosts on us. Tony Hendo's in the house. Oh, our little man Jacob is here. Jacob Ninja King.
Ninja
Shout out
King.
to you. Thanks for watching, son. All right, Davon is here. Hashtag
What's going on,
LBHT
Davon?
crew. Yes.
Just aloe.
Just aloe. Okay.
Coming in
okay.
early.
Coach is here. What's up, Coach? Coach J-Mac is
What's
in the
up,
house.
Coach?
Thanks for coming through, man.
Parrish, what's going
Smith.
on, man?
What's up? Thanks for coming through. King of Pugo. Okay, you guys are ready, man.
Yeah.
Look, man, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well. But if not, I hope it gets better starting right now. And we have a lot to talk about. We're gonna be running through these topics, man. We want to talk some Washington football team, that whole debacle over there, and how John Gruden and Adam Schefter are tied into that. We're gonna talk about Lamar Jackson. He had a historic night on Monday night, and we're gonna talk about him possibly winning his second MVP this year. We're gonna preview the games coming up for Ravens against the Chargers and Panthers against the Vikings.
Yes.
And of course, we're going to do our lunch money bet segment. And if we got time to it for it, we'll talk some Kyrie, and what's going on over there. Maybe we'll get to some Wilder and Fury recap and what's next for both of those fighters. All right. But are you ready, B?
Yeah.
Are you ready? All right, guys. How we usually like to do it. And shout out to Eric L. He's in the house. He says, "Greetings, my brothers. I hope all is most excellent."
What's up, Eric?
What's up? Shout out to our guy Mikey from Off the Record Podcast. Yes, L Freaky. Yes, we are going to be talking about it. But first, we like to start out every show with a Black History fact, and B has a Black History fact for you.
Yeah. So tonight's not going to be history per se. It's something that's going on literally right now. The students over at Howard University, starting around 6 p.m. We've been staging, a rally started at 6 p.m. where they were encouraging people to come out and support, but they have been protesting over the last day or so, the last couple of days, the situation at Howard University. They're saying that there's not enough housing for students, first off, and second, the housing that they do have is in very poor condition. That there's mold all through the housing, and just generally pretty run down. So there are insect and rodent problems in a lot of the buildings at the school, and they're asking for an in-person meeting with the administration to discuss their plans to fix the housing, because they pay $48,000 a year
Right.
To attend the school, and the administration up to this point has been kind of hesitant to meet with the students, and so they've been staging a sit-in at Blackburn Hall or Blackburn Center, trying to bring awareness to what's going on there and help put pressure on the school to meet with the students and fix some of the issues that are going on. So if you want to read more about that, or you want to support, they do have a Cash App set up, but you want to support, you can look up the hashtag on Twitter. It's hashtag Blackburn Takeover.
All right.
It's
yeah.
going on as we speak.
So we got history in the making, if you will. And I hate to hear that about an HBCU, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully they fix the issues that are going on. And this is something. HBCUs have some administrative issues. That's been a thing, but I don't remember it ever being this bad. And Coach is saying the same thing, right? He said most HBCU dorms are like that. Unfortunately, we need to do better, especially with all the means they receive. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's just a complete mismanagement of funds, and we don't have that many to spare.
Right? Yeah, it was actually the Black History Fact was actually going to be a more. It was actually going to include Howard University in a more positive light until I got online and saw what's been going on today. So we just kind of switched it up there.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. J the Six. He says, "Good evening, fellas. Man, good evening to you. Thanks for coming through." Don C. He said, "What's up, everyone?" Jose Brodney, thanks for coming through, Don C. Appreciate you.
What's up, Don?
Manuel's Call of Duty channel. He says Super Lamar came out Monday. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that.
Our guy Ferris is in the chat. He's
Okay,
ready to
Ferris.
talk some hockey.
Yeah. I know.
Yes.
Garnett West was at the game.
What's up, Garnett?
Yes. real quick. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also, what's up,
What's going
on? Also, make sure you're following us wherever you're watching us. If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, that's where we broadcast live. Go ahead and follow us, subscribe or follow us. We're trying to grow in all of our platforms, and also follow us on our social medias: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and Pinterest. If you're interested in Pinterest, we got a Pinterest account. All of it at LBHT Show. Okay, that'll help us grow and spread the word. But before we get into some Ravens talk, we want to talk about, if you watched the live stream on Monday, we did a live stream right after the game. We also mentioned John Gruden stepping down, and this story that we want to talk about with the Washington football team is directly related to that. So if you guys don't know about what's been going on with the Washington football team and why they pretty much, this is the reason why they changed the name, right? This started 2 years ago?
Maybe even a little bit longer than that. Yeah. But
the news, yeah. So basically there was a lot of allegations with the Washington football team, sexual harassment of a ton of women, right?
Well, and also borderline running an escort service that they forced the cheerleaders to be part of.
Yes. Really bad.
No, confiscating passports when they were out of the country and forcing them to go on dates with donors.
And that's only the things that we know about it. There's been a lot. So lawsuits have been filed. And some people have spoken out even against Dan Snyder. I just saw a video. I'm gonna put some links in this video when we're done. But there's been some. I saw a video of a former cheerleader for when they were the Redskins, and she had directly implicated Dan Snyder in some of this stuff, and it was bad. There's no other way to put it. It was really bad. So obviously investors got nervous. You had companies like Pepsi and FedEx, I believe, they pulled out as sponsors. You had minority owners. I can't remember if it was all of them, but a good chunk of the minority owners wanted to sell their share of the team, and when they couldn't find any takers, that's when they were really putting the pressure on getting Daniel Snyder out of there. And that prompted a whole, well, we're going to, we got to clean up our image somehow. So let's get rid of this racist name that we've been holding on to so long. Right. Yeah. So that's why now there's no name of the team. And technically Dan Snyder isn't even running the team. It's his wife. She's a co-CEO. Right. So it's just a whole bunch of mess. So how does this relate to John Gruden? Well, the NFL got a hold of all their emails, right? Because of course they're investigating over 600,000 emails that they're looking through, and just recently one of those emails was
exactly one person was being inappropriate.
Well, here's what I think happened, because people are like, well, they've known about this. They know about this. Why now are they saying something? I don't think they knew about this. 600,000 emails to go through is a lot of emails. And you can't, it's not as simple as just reading it and saying, oh, he said this, we got to get him up out of here. You have to read the data, verify this is the person they're talking to, right? And then, go investigate that, talk to that person, because even if you look at all the information and say, yes, this is John Gruden's email, we've confirmed this is his actual email. If John Gruden says, man, I didn't send it. That's my email. I didn't do that. He could have very well been hacked. It's very easy to get hacked, especially somebody like John Gruden and older guys that always click on these links, right? Because I'm in IT. We have to remind people all the time, don't click on every link that comes to you, right? Don't just click on it because it looks safe. You click that link, all of a sudden some hacker has control of your computer, right? So they have to make sure that's not the case. Right. But of course, John Gruden didn't say that wasn't me. He was just like, yeah, what's the problem? Right. So that's how it's all kind of tied together. But I just find it funny how it's being covered today, because I've watched Florio talk about it on his show. Dan LeBatard had a reporter on, and I've seen some other people discuss it. And not Dan Le Batard, but a lot of these other people are kind of just, they're taking the other side. Like, well, somebody has all this information. They could be, they could be blackmailing these people, and this is dangerous. And it's just like, what you're afraid of is maybe possibly you get exposed.
Yeah.
Like Adam Schefter, right? Because Adam Schefter was the other thing that got put out there. And Adam Schefter didn't do anything illegal, or I wouldn't even say morally wrong.
Yeah,
right?
because Adam Schefter is not a human being. He's a news bot, and he sent a full article covering the CBA negotiations or the holdout, the lockout, to Bruce Allen, and kind of asked him, "Hey, is this okay for me to print? I'm gonna submit it to ESPN tomorrow. Do you want me to change anything?"
Yeah. And Dave on saying 655,000 emails. Yeah, listen, man. The NFL front office doesn't have that big of an IT team, right? like that's a lot of emails to go through. I think what we're finding out is, look, I don't know. There's questions about who leaked it. Was it the NFL or was it somebody else? And there are people that are on the opposite sides of that. They're saying, hey, it's definitely the NFL. That was just their way of pushing Gruden out. Some people are like, why would the NFL expose it? And I can see both sides of it. Why would the NFL want to get that out? Because the NFL is notorious for just burying things, like literally burning evidence, right? You guys don't even know about the Panthers' former owner, Richardson, right? How many of you guys know what happened with Jerry Richardson?
Could have gone right to the Patriots and them destroying evidence of them cheating, but we had to go Carolina.
Because there's a lot of similarities here. There's a lot of similarities between Jerry Richardson and Daniel Snyder.
Well, there's one big difference, which is they showed they came to Jerry and they said, "Hey, we caught you," and he said, "Okay, I'll sell the team." and Daniel Snyder said, "No, you're gonna have to expose me."
There was a lot of hard evidence against Jerry Richardson for sexist and racist things that he has said. There were some sexual harassment allegations too, I believe, with him. And they're like, you have to leave now. And he was just like, fine, just keep up my statue though. Right.
and then Tepper took it down.
Yeah. And shout out to Jacob. Jacob says, don't remember the coin. Don't forget the coin. Yes. And he's talking about these. I believe we are sold out, guys.
Yeah. These are all gone now. So thank you all so much for the support.
Yes.
But we are going to be in the process of kind of maybe creating a new coin. But the founders coins are all gone.
A new coin. Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. Yeah, I mean, there's so many layers to this thing, man, and it's interesting to see what becomes of this, what else is going to come out, because I think there's going to be a lot more that comes out. John Gruden, I think what they're trying to do, honestly, is as they go through these emails, anybody that's actively working, they're saying, look, quit, right? So we don't have to expose this because it's going to get out. We're just letting you know. This is what we know about you, and this is, if maybe some of it we can get past. Others, you might have to step down, but I need some of you guys to just quietly leave and not make an issue out of it. And the thing with John Gruden, because unfortunately, black folks are just at the bottom of everybody's priority list, right? When he says something offensive about black people, nobody really cares about that. Like, we can always get over that. We can forgive for that, right? And the NFL was like, no, you're not understanding what we're saying.
Well, to be fair, any one of those things, he would have survived. I think, I think certainly he would have had more backlash for other things, but he would have survived.
I don't think for the gay slurs, especially with a gay player on his team, I think he would have been out there immediately.
I don't think so, man. Like the Vikings had a coach who was running around using gay slurs, and not only did he not get fired, he became the interim coach when Mike Zimmer couldn't coach.
Yeah, but I mean, like, as you have a openly gay player on your team, the NFL is not going to. They're not going to let that happen. You know what I'm saying?
It's possible, but certainly, in this situation, maybe, but certainly in general, any one of those things, the league would just kind of brush it off and keep moving. But he offended everyone,
Yeah.
even Roger Goodell, and even people who think that brain health is important. Like,
Yeah.
it's just everybody not named John Gruden was on John Gruden's list.
That is true. That is true. And I'm gonna read some of these comments. You guys are going kind of fast here. B, can you pin that link to Streamlabs? We're gonna pin the link to the Streamlabs. That's what we use as a super chat. Also, right above B, $ LBHT Show. That's our Cash App. You leave a comment on either place, leave a donation, and we will read it on air. But we are going to try to get to everybody's comments, well, as many as possible. We're going to move a little fast here because we got a lot of stories that we want to cover here, including the upcoming games.
Yeah.
So
hit the old granddad vent.
Huh? Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And also another thing that I heard today.
Just that. Yeah.
I had to find that link. They were talking about it was a local news report that one of the email exchanges was showing some not safe for work pictures of the cheerleaders for the team.
Right, because a part of the allegations against Snyder were that he, or not that he did it himself, but I guess had someone capture a nude video of some of the cheerleaders, without their knowledge, obviously, and give it to him. So essentially, what I think is going to happen is anybody who is kind of on the lower end of scandal, like Adam Schefter, they'll be fine, right? People who have kind of explosive stuff in those emails, they're going to leak it. They're going to make sure it's a huge story, and they're going to try to flood the media and hope that people forget it's about Dan Snyder.
Yeah, Adam Schefter, his thing, it might be embarrassing, and really for somebody like him who has no shame, I don't think it's embarrassing at all, right? Like, he's not even discussing it. Like, the thing with Adam Schefter, we kind of glossed over it. Basically, he sent a report that he wrote before he published it. He sent it to Bruce Allen and basically said, "Hey, look over it and make sure it's good with you," right? Which, if you're a journalist, you're not supposed to do that, right?
Yeah, but he's not a journalist. So
he's not a journalist. Yeah, right, exactly. He's not a journalist. But it does make you wonder, if you're that cool with Bruce Allen, right? How much of this other stuff did you know about that you just weren't, because you want to stay, you want to stay on his good side, because weasels like Adam Schefter, and he is a weasel.
Yeah.
They have no morals, right? Like, they'll do anything. I mean, we're calling him a weasel for one particular reason, and that's what he did to Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah.
Right. JPP.
Well, not even what he did to Jason Pierre-Paul so much. I mean, although that was bad as well. It was what he did to the other person who was listed on that card, who was not a famous athlete, having their injury reported. It was just some random person who was in the hospital, and he posted a picture of their private medical info.
Yes.
And then when he got called on it, he said, "Hey, not my problem."
Right. So he's a weasel. And somebody like that, I mean, like, morals, what are those? I just want to be first to get the story out.
Yeah.
It is plausible that while this story on itself is nothing, it could lead to other things. So Adam Schefter's not talking about it, and when I see people like Florio get a little jumpy about this story, it makes me think.
Schefter put out his a statement through ESPN a little while ago, just kind of apologizing, and saying he went over the line, and he hasn't done anything else like that, and blah blah blah. So I don't think anything will come from. I don't think that Adam Schefter is the John Gruden type of bad. I think like you said, he doesn't care who he hurts through his reporting.
Yeah,
but outside of that, I don't think there's really anything there. Like, he goes home and he plugs into the wall and he waits till he has to go back to work.
Yeah. And I don't believe that one bit. Why would that be the one time that you do it? Right. I sacrifice my morals for this one time.
And it happened. Yeah, and you happen to get caught.
No. Yeah. Let's read some of these comments here. Let's see. I honestly don't know why pro teams have cheerleaders. College, yes. High school, yes. The pros, no. I don't like any of it.
Yeah.
I don't want my daughters being cheerleaders.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like any of it. Shefty was also pushing the Andrew Luck stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You couldn't wait. You couldn't just let the man announce on his own. You had to report it while he's at the game,
So
and they booed him. Man, I can't stand him. Adam is innocent. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Okay.
You didn't spell innocent right.
That's
the only reason I clicked on that, just to point that out to you, just to let you know.
Yeah. Just Al Gruden said DeMaurice Smith looked like a monkey. Yeah, Gruden said everything.
Yeah.
he said everything, and those are only the things that we heard about. I'm sure there was a whole lot more that he said.
Yeah.
You know. Ray Ron said Jerry Jones had an alleged sexual assault. Correct. I'm not sure if he had a sexual assault or sexual harassment case. Look, man, you gotta understand, a lot of these guys, they've done it, right? You're talking about these owners, these old owners that come from a time where sexual harassment wasn't even a term.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It didn't exist.
And they refuse to change. They refuse to change. Like the NFL built a culture of 1950s white men that ran ran everything and weren't held accountable for anything, and they want to keep it that way. That's why you see these emails where you're like, why would you put something like that on a work email where you could be monitored? Because they don't understand that they're being monitored. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand how it works. They're thinking to themselves, this is between me and you. This will never get out.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that the age that we live in, anything can get out. Anything can get exposed. And when they do get caught, they're too stubborn to be like, man, I'm sorry. Well,
they understand it to an extent, right? That's why the Colin Kaepernick thing didn't go to trial, because they didn't want their emails being put out there, because that's what was going to happen. And they say, give Colin his money. And make that go away.
And another thing, I have a few. Remind me, B. I'm gonna post a few articles and links in the description when I'm done with this. I read another article. I have to find it right before we came on air, saying that the Washington football team actually tried to pay a lot of these women some hush money, so they won't let they basically dropped their sexual harassment case, and sign a non-disclosure agreement, so they stopped talking about it on these shows, right? And the lawyer that's representing a lot of these women were like, yo, not only, we weren't going to take it, but the offer that they made was insultingly low.
Right. Of course.
Dan Snyder is, man, I want to bring Quan from Off the Record on here. Dan, he will go on a rant about Dan.
They were like, yo, we offered you $30K. That's like twice your salary. What do you? No. This is a thing that everybody here loves football. We all watch it, but the NFL is run by awful people. It always has been, and it likely always will be. And that's kind of the trade-off that you make when you want to watch the sport. You love the sport.
Another thing. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I had the Houston owner, calling all of his players inmates, and the inmates running the asylum. Nothing happened to him. With Jerry Richardson, they let him kind of slink out the door quietly. Instead of really blowing that up. It came out in Sports Illustrated, which is kind of, it's seen better days. So I don't think it was as big a story as it should have been. And the NFL was very happy for that. Right. Yeah. And now, you're trying to keep it quiet as much as possible on Dan Snyder.
Let's just say, yes, Kraft got the brain, no pinky. Yes. and again, they made sure that video didn't get out. Yes, they have built this environment that they created this environment of just a toxic working environment. If you're a woman, a person of color, or just anything that's not a straight white man,
or if you feel pain. And or if football is not the top 5 most important things to you.
Yeah. And like Davon said, sadly, it's not changing. their kids inherit these businesses, and that starts at home. That's right. They pass these things on to their kids, and they act this way because that's all Daniel Snyder is, man. He's just he's always been rich. He acts, he acts that way. I mean, he always feels like he gets what he wants, and there's no consequence for anything.
Yeah.
The culture
is so damn good.
Bruce Allen. Yeah.
Former Washington football employee.
Yep, that's what he said. One other thing that I want to add to this, another element to this I want to add. A lot of this reporting came from the Washington Post. The article I read about the hush money came from the Washington Post. The Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos. And what is Jeff Bezos trying to do right now? He's trying to own a football team, not just any football team, the Washington football team. That's something that he wants, and it's not coincidence at all that the Washington Post is breaking all these stories about Daniel Snyder and that team. So when you see, because it is going to happen, billionaires get what they want, right? And he has more billions than Daniel Snyder.
Danity?
Yes, on the team. Yeah. Look for Jeff Bezos to be the new owner of that team. That's happening. Spooky J says, "Sup, y'all? I got something to say. Why is Gruden firing so controversial? Some of these old head fans just toxic." Yes.
Yeah, like who cares that John Gruden lost his job? Who is John Gruden?
A loser now.
Why is it okay for him to be bigoted against literally everybody, and he's a victim for losing his job?
Listen, when you're winning, a lot of things can be excused. When you're losing, you don't even need a reason to go out the door.
Yeah.
All right. And they started out okay, and now they're starting to slip again. And even if none of this happened, and they're like, "Look, we've seen enough. Like we've been doing this for the last 5 years with you. We want you to go."
Yeah, King.
Nobody would say anything.
King, yeah. Jeff Bezos is not a hero in this story.
Not at all. Yes, King Pooh says, "Y'all see the way Amazon warehouses are run." Yeah,
he's just a bigger villain who's coming to knock around the little guys in the NFL.
Me and B are of the belief that every billionaire is evil.
Yeah,
like if you're a billionaire, you're evil. Like you didn't get to become a billionaire through moral tactics. Okay, like you're just an evil person, and Jeff Bezos is definitely an evil person. Garnett West says Keyshawn Johnson doesn't look crazy anymore. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He said he talked about that too. He said, "I tried to tell you guys years ago." Raven Ron says, they need to scrub all 32 owners' emails, clean house. Yeah. So all right. We spent a good amount of time on that, and we still have some other topics to get to.
Bezos about to run Snyder down the ground. His money and reach is longer. Yes,
it is a lot longer.
Jeff Bezos can afford to buy all 32 NFL teams.
Think about that, guys. Think about that. At the current price that these teams go for, around $2 billion, Jeff Bezos could be like, "Yo, you want that Cash App? See, 64 billion? Yeah, how you want that? Check, Cash App, direct deposit? What you want?" He could buy out the whole league. That's what kind of money this man has,
and still be filthy rich.
Filthy rich. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
it's disgusting. Yes, just Ali, you can't be a billionaire and be a good person. I'm sorry, you can't. Yeah. All right. Next topic. Let's get into some Lamar Jackson. You guys ready for some Lamar Jackson? First of all, man, hit that like button, man. I see 47 people in here, man. Let's get these likes up. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Guys, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers. Me and B never thought we would be close to 1,000 when we first started. Like a year our plan was, hey, a year from now, let's try to get to like 500.
Yeah,
that's what we were thinking. Let's get to like 500 subscribers. Right, that'd be dope. Now we're pushing 1,000, man. We're almost at 800, and I don't think we'll be that far from 1,000, man. And we just want to thank you guys for your support. And when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna have something in store for you guys. All right, and here we go. One, Lamar Jackson. If you guys were with us on Monday night, and we were here late, and yes, that was quite the performance.
How do you look at his face and doubt he's evil?
What I mean, like
Just
what good thing has he done?
how? But
Right.
that's neither here nor there. I apologize. Please continue. Man.
Yeah. So Lamar Jackson set a record, set a couple records, I believe. Right. He was the first quarterback to throw for 86% while throwing for over 400 yards,
Yeah.
and also the first quarterback to have a percentage of over 85% while having 40 attempts, right? Something like that. It was two
I
records he
believe
set.
it was the highest completion percentage ever for a quarterback over 400 yards, and I believe the other was the number of yards and his rushing yards.
Gotcha. Okay. And it just, what we're seeing every week is just, when you don't restrict him and you just, I mean, it didn't even give him protection, but he's got some slightly better weapons than he had
Yeah.
the previous years. There's nothing he can do. He can't do. There's nothing he can't do out there.
Yeah.
And defenses are going to really struggle. Me and B talked about this. Like, I don't think any defense that's on a schedule is going to be ready to stop what we're doing, because the thought coming into this year is all you got to do is stop the run, right? Stop the run and force him to pass. And he's doing it every week. And every week they're going to say, let's see if he can keep doing it. And he's going to keep doing it, because what's going to happen is, well, we already see Hollywood is the man, right?
Yeah.
Rashad Bateman is going to come back. The wide receiver core is just going to get healthier. The O-line is going to get healthier. Ronnie Stanley hopefully comes back. Nick Boyle will be back. He'll help in the chip blocking, right? So he'll get more protection. He'll get better with his wide receivers. And anytime you try to stop the run, wide receivers, or Andrews, anybody's just going to get wide open, and he's going to hit those guys every time. And yes, he could still run. So defenses are just going to be like what you saw Monday night. We could do that for 4 quarters. If we can get our coaching staff to get on the same page, but we can do that every single game.
Yeah.
So yes, Lamar Jackson, B. We both picked him to be MVP at the beginning of the year anyway, but right now it's early, but you got national media now talking about him as an early candidate.
To be fair, I picked him and then you copied my pick, but that's fine.
That's only because you went first. That's all. You went first.
We both picked him, and I think it's going to happen. You see. Like he's hitting another level with the passing game, and a part of that is the new coaches coming in. Danny asking we give Greg Roman credit. Jose likes to give Greg Roman a little bit of credit. I don't give somebody credit for having one of 32 jobs on the planet and a decade in finally learning the basics of how to do your job. And who's to say that he even learned versus being influenced by Williams and T. Martin? So I don't give him any credit for that. But whatever, that's neither here nor there.
Even if that's the case, I mean, cut you off. I know you're mid thought, but even if that's the case, like, he's still doing it. So I didn't give him a lot of credit. I give him a little credit.
Listen, this you know what this is? Oh, I give Snyder credit for changing the name. No, I don't. No. You should have known how to do. You should have been doing this before you ever even got an offensive coordinator job.
Listen. Let's not misconstrue anything that I'm saying here. I still think he should go.
Yeah.
Right. Like, there's nothing Greg Roman can do for Lamar Jackson.
No.
Nothing.
Except hold him back, which he's been doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and they're finally. So part of it is that part of it is the Hollywood's stepping up. Mark Andrews for the first time this past week looked like an elite tight end. I'm not sure if that'll continue, but he played amazing. They did bring in Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins is the first time, arguably, that a vet wide receiver addition has worked for Baltimore. They got Rashad Bateman. He'll be coming back. You expect the passing offense to get better there. Duvernay and Prochet are both contributing. So the group around Lamar, the skill positions around Lamar, are better than they've ever been. He's better than he's ever been. So I think it's going to be very, very difficult for the league to slow Baltimore down once they get fully healthy and start rolling. I saw your comment here, King of Pugo, talking about so Boykin hold the bench. Sammy went out and Prochet filled in. Yeah, man, it was his first game. They said before the game he was only going to be playing special teams.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of
And shout out to Godson, man. Thanks for coming through, Godson.
Hey, what's up, Godson?
Yeah. Yeah. Look, they're bringing Boykin back slowly. And same thing with Bateman, right? Bateman could have went, but they're like, he's not quite 100%. And look, they made a mistake rushing Ronnie Stanley back, and I think they learned from that. Like, we don't want to do the same thing with these guys, so let's just take it slowly. You know.
Mm-hmm.
What, man? Go ahead.
They saying, nah, our passing concept sucks so bad. We don't have any quick passing plays, which leads to sacks. That quick plays kill our defense every week, yet Roman doesn't change and learn. He needs to go.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Why do you guys pound the table so hard for Prochet and not Duvernay? Because this time last year, talk was about Duvernay. And now Duvernay, again, just out there, he had a big play. He almost scored on that one drive. He got stopped at the goal line. That's where Lamar fumbled the ball. Yep. But he's outplaying Prochet. I'm not hearing anything about Duvernay.
We did get an anonymous Cash App. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So do you think Roman is gone soon? Play calling is okay. No, I don't think Roman's going anywhere. They're playing too well right now. Lamar, I think, is on pace to win MVP. He's 5th in the league in passing yards. He's averaging now over 300 passing yards a game, thanks to the last couple of weeks. So I think it's only going to get better.
But I think that's why he is going to be gone, right? I don't think he's going to get fired. I don't think he's going to get fired. But if Lamar is going to win MVP and we make the playoffs, he's going to be talked about as a head coaching candidate again, and somebody will bite this time. So he will be gone through getting another job, I believe.
Okay, I honestly want to know, based on what? Based on what does he have the best hands on the team? He has 10 career catches.
So King of Pugo, I'm gonna read these comments for our audio podcast. King of Pugo says Prochet got the best hands on the team and he's underused. That's why. Why do you think he's underused? So okay, all right. We get into a Prochet argument again. But underused, who should he be playing over, in your opinion? Should he play over Hollywood? Should he play over Sammy Watkins? Should he play over Duvernay? Right? Should he be playing over Bateman when Bateman comes back? Right? Should he be playing over Boykin, who's a better blocker? I know you guys will probably say Boykin, but there's already 4 wide receivers that you wouldn't say he should play over. So at best, he's 5th when healthy, when everybody's healthy.
Yeah. Right. And that would put him 6th in the passing game behind Mark Andrews as well. And arguably, he has as many catches as Tyson Williams so far this year. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not sure what we're basing that on. He runs, sub 10-yard routes. He better catch everything.
Yeah, and Felipe says, punt returns. That's what they use Duvernay for. Yes, he contributes in the special teams, which is why he's out there more often, right? Because Prochet isn't going to give you much in the passing game. Neither one of them is going to give you much in the passing game. So the only way you're going to be on a roster is if you can do other things. And Duvernay is doing what Prochet was supposed to be doing, but he does it better. So that's going to lead to, everybody can tell you this, right? If you're one of those guys, you're not an immediate starter. You have to earn your way through special teams. That's how you're going to get noticed, right? And that's what Prochet is doing. He's getting noticed through special teams, which is resulting in more playing time on the field. So, all right, you want to talk about the our matchup against the Chargers, Ravens versus Chargers?
Sure. So just to close that off, definitely Lamar wins his second MVP this year.
Man,
absolutely.
He wins his second MVP by the age of 24. That would be something else.
Yeah.
That would be something else. All right. Ravens versus Chargers. Guys, this is going to be a tough game.
Yeah, that said, this is going to be an extremely difficult week coming up against the LA Chargers. No disrespect to Baltimore, but man, Justin Herbert is a bad man.
Yes,
and they're out there with Keenan Allen. Now, I did see that Mike Williams, their other starting wide receiver, missed practice with a knee injury. I'm not sure how serious it is. I'm not sure if he's going to be playing or not. but they do have also Austin Eckler. So I mean, they're still coming out there with enough weapons. They still got Jared Cook, who's not, I wouldn't really call him a weapon per se, but he's a competent tight end. They have a few competent tight ends, so they're going to be extraordinarily difficult to deal with.
Yeah. Similarities between our teams. Both teams are explosive on offense. I mean, look, you can make the argument Justin Herbert is an MVP candidate, right? Yeah. Absolutely.
And it says he coming for blood. Apugo says whoever wins this game is going to win MVP. Okay.
Oh, maybe. And if you guys haven't watched the Chargers, I strongly suggest you go watch some tape on the Chargers before this week.
Andre Mears, what's going on, man?
What's up, Andre?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling too confident going into this game. Averett can't play the way he did Monday.
I'll say this. Chargers fans, I guarantee you, because our dad's a Chargers fan, so we hear about it. They had the same concerns that we have on their defense. Their defense looks bad, and they have talent. They have a talented defense. They got Joey Bosa. You got
they got Derwin James. Yeah, they have some talent there. I think one of the big things is they have Joey Bosa going up against the Ravens tackles and Macari and Villanueva, Andre Smith, those guys, and Owe is going to be going up against Rashawn Slater, who is one of the better rookie left tackles, the best rookie left tackle, but I think he's one of the better left tackles in the league already.
Yeah.
So I think that's a obvious advantage for LA. I think that if Joey Bosa is out there and 100%, he's going to abuse the Ravens offensive line.
Oh man. I mean, look, I don't think that's really going to have as much of a bearing on the game, just because if we start out with a quick tempo and like we did in the second half of the game. Yeah. Samuels is a good corner too. Yeah, if we start out with a good tempo and get the ball out of Lamar's hands quickly, do the check downs, things like that. The O-line, that'll mitigate what's going on with the O-line, right? So it's all about play calling. Like we can't start out slow with this team. This team gets hot real quick.
I'll tell you what I don't want to see. I don't want to see more passes directed to Devontae Freeman. That's not what I'm here for.
Okay. All right, guys. 63 people in here. Hit that like button. Let's get these likes up, man. And if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're liking our content. Also, right above B, if you're looking for a super chat, we don't do super chats. $sign LBHT Show. That's our cash app. That's how you get a super chat. Leave a donation, leave a comment, and we'll read it on air. Also, there's a pinned comment. You see that pinned comment? That is for our Streamlabs. Our Streamlabs is another way you can donate. All right, it's the same thing. You go on there. Don't be scared to click that link. Okay, I know I was talking about malware earlier. Don't be scared. That's a safe link. Okay, you click on that. You can leave emojis and all that stuff. Leave your comment. We'll read that on air. All right. Okay, guys, start putting your predictions in here. This is a tough one, man. This is tough.
Danity says this game got me shook a little bit, but I believe in Lamar, Tucker, Owe, and Hollywood.
Okay.
Also true, Keenan. PQ don't want to tackle. This is correct. It's not his favorite thing.
I went back and watched that game, man. Patrick Queen has a confidence problem. Tackling is not about skill, man. Like Coach Evans from Totality Films will tell you, it's about want to, right? Yeah. This man don't want to tackle. And it's fixable, is what I'm trying to say. His issue can be fixed. It's just an attitude thing. And if he fixes that, man, he'll be fine. He's got all the tools. That's why I'm not writing him off yet. I'm not gonna write him off because he's a first round pick and we're stuck with him. But
Hayden Hurst would like a word.
Look, man, I didn't say we should trade him. Like I said, we should have kept him.
I'm just saying he got traded. You are not stuck with him.
I've heard some people say that they could be moving on from Patrick Queen if he doesn't pan out this year, and I would say that would not be good, right? Now I can't say it's a bad move because maybe he's a bust, right? I don't think so, but if they move on from him, they're like, look, he's just not worth it, and we wasted a first round pick. again, right? Because we just wasted one on Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
You know, and we had other needs. This O-line, I hope you guys understand what we say now when we say defund the defense. I hope you guys understand when we're saying, yes, Davon, hashtag defund the defense. I hope you understand when we say, look, man, O-line's a priority, nothing else. I don't want to hear about defensive line. I don't want to hear about corners, because I know some of you guys are going to be saying we need backup corners, because look what happened when Marcus Peters went down. So what? If Marcus Peters was here right now, we still be getting torched.
Yeah,
we still be getting torched, right? So yes, it's good to address those things, but the number one priority needs to be protecting Lamar and make sure he has weapons, right? We got young weapons. Obviously, Hollywood has elevated his game. We all believe Bateman is going to be that guy, you know, and we got Mark Andrews, but give him more.
Yeah, I think the weapons will be fine, but you can always have more. Always.
Absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely.
Andre says, I'm hurt that I'm predicting this, but I'm going to say Chargers 35-32. Hopefully I'm wrong. Okay. Got a question here for you, Jose. Agent E, what's going on? What made you become a Baltimore Ravens fan?
Okay, so you guys are new. We kind of explained this when we first started. Initially, I was a Raiders fan, and B was a Eagles fan. Right, we're a military family. We moved around every 4 years. Right, so when I got into football, we were living in Hawaii. Right, so in Hawaii, you're a Raiders fan or Chargers or a West Coast fan or a 49ers fan. Right, our older brother is Al. He's a 49ers fan. So that's how I got into that. But then we were still younger. We ended up moving out to Fort Meade in Maryland, and then that's where our family retired, and we grew up out here. So and this is right before Baltimore came back. The Ravens came back to Baltimore. So I was here from the beginning when the Ravens came back, and it was one of those things where I was just like, well, yeah, they're the hometown team now, and I'll root for them, but I'm still a Raiders fan. And I just slowly made that transition over to a full-time Ravens fan. And also Al Davis helped push me over there, because he was crazy towards the end of his life. But yeah, that's how I became a Ravens fan. B, just he was just tired of the way that the Eagles were treating.
Yeah, look, don't just try to like pass it off like it's some inconsequential thing. All right, like you switched teams just cause. I was tired of the way they were treating Randall Cunningham. Okay, Randall Cunningham was my favorite player, my favorite quarterback. Yeah, and I was tired of the way they were treating them. And I said, they got expansion teams coming in. Whichever one is going to be in the NFC, that's going to be my team. Turns out that neither one of those choices was really good, but I think I got the better end of that deal.
Yeah,
so that's all right.
Yeah.
Eric L saying 34-21 Ravens over Chargers. Mr. Jackson with 300+ passing yards and 3+ touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
Okay. I like that.
Tony Hendo, 28-17 Ravens.
If we could hold that team to 17 points, I will take back everything I said about this defense.
Garnet West, 38-34 Chargers.
Okay.
Felipe says 42-38 Ravens.
Attitude Pop says 50-43 Ravens. I like that.
King of Pugo, 35-31 Ravens. Okay. Let's see. Part-time Packers, Saints, Patriots, Bucks, Lions, and 49ers fan.
Not full-time
Ravens fan. All right.
I like it. I'll take it. Yes.
And Mikey says 42-21 Baltimore.
Wow.
You guys
this is a home game for us.
Faith in the Ravens defense than I do at this point. Yeah, I am taking Baltimore though. Okay. I think it is going to be excuse me, 38-35 type game. Baltimore.
Okay. Now, I've only picked Baltimore to lose one time ever since we started this channel. And that was week 2 against the Chiefs. And they won that game, thankfully. So I don't think I can bring myself to pick against them again, not anytime soon. But I've also learned not to pick them to win any blowout games, because they're not going to do that either. They're going to give me a migraine again this week. Okay, a super migraine, because our dad is a Chargers fan. Yeah. Not only is our dad a Chargers fan, guys. Our dad, he's from Oregon. He is a diehard Oregon Ducks fan. And where's Justin Herbert from? We've been hearing about Justin Herbert way before you guys knew who he was.
That boy says the trap is real. We got this.
We got this. Okay. I'm picking the Ravens to win. I'm going to say it's going to be all touchdowns. Field goal kickers stay on the sideline. We're going to win 42-35.
Okay. Mr. J says Justin Herbert with a costly interception, and I have a feeling it's going to be either Chuck Clark or Anthony Averett.
Okay. Anthony Averett redeems himself a little bit. I like that.
Mike says always sack ticker is down to 11.5 sacks. No, it ain't, man. You can't do that. That's not how that goes. I mean, it'd be really interested to see Oweh versus Rashawn Slater this week. I think that's going to be great.
That'd be a huge challenge because Rashawn Slater is no joke.
Yeah,
he's no joke. Speaking of sack tickers, look, Justin Houston. If you guys weren't here on the Monday show, our man, living legend, has got a bet with us, right? We need Justin Houston to get to 7 sacks. 5 sacks officially, because we're giving him 2 sacks that he should have gotten that they didn't give him, right? But here in the house of lunch break hot take, we will honor those sacks. Okay, so unofficially he has 3 sacks. He needs 4 more sacks for our man, living legend, to get an LBHT shirt of his choice from our store, lbhtshow.com/shop. All right, so we need to be sending all of our good vibes to Justin Houston, so he can get at least 2 sacks this week, okay? Because we want our guy, living legend, to get a shirt, man. He's been supporting us for a long time, so we gotta make this happen. Iron Addict says big trust. Okay, that's what's up, man. Thanks for coming through.
Kim Bird saying what I'm gonna say, Ravens 49-42. Lamar Jackson throwing for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. Okay.
I'll tell you what, if that happens, he's going to run away with the MVP.
Yeah. Jonathan Washington, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
We're going to keep up his huge breakout season, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns versus the Chargers. My guy Noah, what's going on, Noah?
Okay, what's up, man?
What's up? Man? How you doing, Noah?
Yeah. Thanks for coming through. Noah, the working man, boy. He be working. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all your hard work, and you still have time to hang out with us, man. Thank you. He says, watch him get 4.5 sacks, Jonathan Washington. Man, I hope so.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah.
Just Allo says Oweh has 3 sacks, and none of them are covered sacks. Impressive. Yeah. Well, no, that's not true. One of them was. The Derek Carr sack was a covered sack.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm one of those people. I don't care how you get them.
It's fine.
I don't care. Like
you still gotta sack him, right? Like you can't just let him stand there and throw it.
He's doing way better. He's doing way better than I had anticipated him to be at this point. So props to him, man. And we need it because this last game he was the only person showing up on defense. The only one.
Danity says she has a hot take. What is it? Go ahead, give it to us. Jake P says is Oweh the best player on defense now. I mean, for right now. It looks like it. I mean, I don't want to strip it from Marlon Humphrey like that, but he's got to show up at some point.
Yeah, right now he ain't doing it. B, do we want to cover? Yeah, we got to cover Panthers real quick for Panthers Nation that are in here. Panthers versus Vikings.
We don't want to cover it, but yeah.
Look, because we got to bring Derek on here real quick.
Yes.
So we'll do a quick Panthers versus Vikings. Wow, Panthers versus Vikings preview.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's your take on it, B?
Man, it's going to be a much tougher game than it sounds like or should be, because the Vikings don't have a great record. They've given games away at the end. I'm not a big Kirk Cousins fan. But, you know, he has that kind of Alex Smith thing to him where he's learned exactly what he can do and he does it repeatedly, right? He's so far this season one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. Now, he's one of the least aggressive quarterbacks in the league, but it's working for him, right? It's working for the offense. Now, the Panthers defense, you know, they had a terrible day against Dallas. They had a pretty good day against Philly, but you know they got a little bit worn down and gave up the 21 points and with because of a lot of turnovers. Now, they haven't looked great against the run, and Minnesota has two monsters in their backfield in Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison. Not 100% sure that Dalvin Cook is going to play, but like I said, it doesn't matter because their backup is just as good, honestly. So I think it's going to be a struggle, and it's going to be another test for the defense. You got Adam Thielen out there, you got Justin Jefferson, you got two great running backs, you got Kirk Cousins playing the best football of his career. On the other side, it looks like Christian McCaffrey might be back. They're saying kind of like 50-50 right now, but you've got Danielle Hunter, who has 6 sacks already. You've got Everson Griffin, who has 4 sacks. You've got Michael Pierce out there, who's got a couple sacks. Dalvin Tomlinson is out there playing well. I think they're going to eat the Panthers O-line alive. So I think it's going to be a really tough game. I am still taking the Panthers though, because they are the Vikings.
So just Alan wants to know, is Christian McCaffrey coming back anytime soon? He might come back for this game.
I think he'll be back this week. They haven't officially said so, but he's practicing, and I think he'll play. Danity says Lamar is not signing his contract until he knows Hollywood is staying too.
Well, Hollywood's definitely staying. Hollywood is on pace to get like 1,500 receiving yards.
I think he means they commit to paying him.
Oh,
that's not something that Baltimore likes to do.
But that's my point. I think that's why there's such a focus on him, passing to him this year. He wants to make sure he locks up his contract too, because he goes over 1,000 yards, which he obviously is going to do, and have double-digit touchdowns. It's going to be hard for them to be like, we don't want to bring him back,
But here's what Danity's saying: to keep Lamar, you have to keep Hollywood. He won't be happy otherwise. I agree, and I think it's a good point because I think that Baltimore's a team that I could definitely see kind of trying to skate on paying Hollywood because hey, we've got Rashad Bateman and we already paid Mark Andrews, right? Yeah. And if he keeps on with the season that he's having, he's going to command a lot of money.
Yeah. And Lamar should hold out for his boy because you wouldn't give him anything else, right?
Oh man, we got another anonymous Cash App. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
For how long will Mr. Darnold remain the starter in Carolina?
So last week there was a question about is he going to win comeback player of the year? Now it's right. Are they going to get him up out of here? What's going on here? Like he can't still play, can he?
He's going to be the starter all year, and he's going to be the starter next year because they don't have any other options. PJ Walker can't play. Everybody likes PJ Walker. Matt Rule likes PJ Walker. He's fun to watch. He can't play, and they have a first-round pick next year. I think they're already kind of playing themselves out of the range of getting a quarterback. And I don't like any of the quarterbacks in this class anyway, but they don't have a second. They don't have a third. They're not going to be in a position to make a trade for a guy like Deshaun Watson. They're not going to be in a position to make a trade for a guy like Aaron Rodgers if that were something to come up. So it's going to be the Sam Darnold show.
I think I disagree, B. I think if Aaron Rodgers shows interest, which I don't think he would, but if he shows interest or the stuff with Deshaun Watson gets cleared up, I think David Tepper would sell his soul to get those guys.
He already sold his soul though. Sam Darnold. And now CJ Henderson.
He'll sell Federer's soul. He will do whatever it takes because all he wanted was an established quarterback, right? That's why he was trying to get trade for Matt Stafford, and he dodged a bullet with that one. But he was trying to trade for Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford said no. And he kind of just settled on Darnold, but I never looked at Darnold as somebody they really believe in. I think it's just somebody they're making it work until they get the guy they want. So yes, I think Deshaun Watson is still in play.
I had to disagree there because if that were the case, I would think they would be building the O-line, and they're not doing that. I think they're putting this together because they think, hey, we can turn around Sam Darnold. We missed out on Deshaun. That wasn't really their own thing, but they missed out on Deshaun. They missed out on Matt Stafford, and they settled.
A lot of teams are just bad at building O-lines, right? Especially when you're talking about black quarterbacks.
Carolina's not trying.
Yeah, but again, man, like they might want a quarterback, and they'll be like, "We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out later." Like that's just something they're not worried about right now.
I think they're not worried about it, period, because otherwise they would have drafted Rashawn Slater.
It's easy for us to say that, but when you're looking on that side, I mean, like, because look, they don't protect Russell Wilson, all right? They're not protecting Lamar. Like you can look around the league and you can look at teams and they're like, yo, how come you're not getting this guy any help? Like a lot of these teams they don't prioritize protecting your quarterback.
Yeah, but
at least not until later.
Those teams try though. They fail. But they try. Carolina's not trying.
No, but because they got Darnold here and like they don't care about Darnold. But
but that's what I'm saying though. Like if you're looking past Darnold, you have to build the O-line, and Aaron Rodgers ain't coming to Carolina for a dude that you drafted 18th to maybe one day develop into a left tackle, and then guys who you drafted on day 3 to fill out the rest of the line. He ain't coming for that.
Yeah. Real quick, a couple questions. We'll give our score predictions. Jose, do you think Federer is going to pull a trade for Marcus May? No, I don't think they need Marcus May.
They ain't got nothing else to trade, Jay.
What I need Marcus May for?
Cause
nah, man, that's Jeremy Chin's world. Who's your other safety?
Justin Burris.
Justin Burris. He's good enough.
It's whoever it is back there. It's who it is. But it's Justin Burris. He's out right now.
May's a solid safety, but I don't think you need him.
He stays hurt though. He stays hurt too.
Yeah. Okay. Score prediction, B.
I'm taking Carolina 20-14.
All right.
It's a low scoring game.
I think it's going to be a little bit higher. I'm going to say this is another team. I can't predict any blowout after what happened last week. I'm going to say 31-24 Carolina. 31-24 Carolina. And it's going to be at least another interception from Sam Darnold. I can feel it. But they'll overcome it. The defense has been balling out, Yeah. So, okay. Jose, what about Marcus May on the Ravens? No. If we do any trade, it better be for O-line and O-line. Okay.
Questions about that. Look at that.
23-14 Vikings. Panthers.
Come on,
Chameleons. Wow, King of Pugo. Man, all this negative energy from King of Pugo.
What do you mean by they're chameleons? Like they hide themselves well?
Yeah. Look, Danity is right. She's saying Deshaun is a quote unquote running back, so they figure they don't have to build the O-line. It's a black quarterback treatment, man. I'm sorry, man. When you get a black quarterback, teams feel like they ain't gotta protect him because his feet will protect him.
That's what I'm talking about. Captain Kirk gonna have 3 interceptions this week. Living Legend says 27-24 Panthers. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Jason's 34-20 Carolina. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
30-27 Panthers. Danny got Carolina 23-17.
There you go. About. All right. So it's
get
decided.
Out of here, King.
We've decided Panthers win. Okay. We don't need to play the game. We've decided they won.
That's right.
All right. Our guy Derek is in the house. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for lunch money bets. You gonna bring him up? Go ahead, bring him up.
Yes.
Derek, what's going on, my man?
What's going on with you fellas?
What's going on, Derek?
Yeah. How did we do last week?
We got a winning week in the books, fellas, at 3-1-1.
There you go.
The Green Bay game was the push on the week. Baltimore going to OT didn't hurt us. The fact that they didn't have to kick that extra point that actually kept that from going into a push, and that sent us into a winning week.
That's what's up. Real quick, Derek. Guys, anybody that's new in here, and Dave on, he said D Weezy. If you're new in here, this is our lunch money bet segment, right? For anybody that's a gambler out there that they want some they need some help picking some games. Derek usually gives us about 5 games to some locks, if you will. Okay. If you have any questions, you can hit him up. Or if you're not a gambler, you have questions about making bets, because I'm not that well versed in gambling. So this is the man to ask. You ask Derek. You can put it in the chat. You could put it even better. You can put it in the Cash App. Okay, we get right to it. But Deg, yeah, go ahead. Tell us how we did and how we're gonna do this week.
Yeah, so like I was saying, we finished, up with a winning record this coming week, and overall on the season, sitting at 8-15-2 now, I believe. So we're turning things around and getting back on the right track, getting a few games into the season. Got stuff we can look at as far as trends, and that might be a little something you see pop up with some of my picks this week. I'm gonna start it off with the Carolina game. I agreed with a good bit of what y'all were saying. This will probably be a close game. Spread has this as a 1-point game with the Vikings being the favorites. I'm on Carolina this week. I've been pretty good with picking Carolina. I believe my record on the Carolina game so far is 3-1-1, with that one loss being the Dallas game. And, there they were up by 1 point going into halftime. So, we've seen the struggles that Carolina's had with things like the third quarter and second half of games. Yeah. I believe this defense is what can help them. Some of the things I was looking at, the Vikings haven't been, compared to the rest of the league, only about 20th in points scored. The defense has actually been helping them out some, more around 9th. But against the Carolina's defense, I don't think that offense will be able to really put up much. That run game is where the concern is on that side of the ball, even if Cook's not out there like Brodney was saying. The defense has been getting takeaways. Now, if you look at the turnovers versus takeaways, are actually down in that category, but that's where we've seen where things on the offensive side of the ball and holding on to it haven't worked out for us. But I am on Carolina +1 there. Moving on to the Baltimore game, we got the Chargers coming in at +3. Baltimore is the favorite. If you're in the Discord, I know something I was talking about the other night. Baltimore is 1-3 as the favorite in these games against the spread.
Bunch of
the KC game, they were actually underdogs there. So the fact that they still got the victory there and, technically still beat the spread. And what I'm looking at, they weren't the favorites. So it doesn't really apply here as much as you might think. But I do like the way the Chargers offense has been running and the things that we have seen out of them. I believe that, let's see, they got 7th pass offense in the league. And it's been their wrong team. Sorry about that. 1 second. Actually, yeah, no, they're even better. It's 6th. Sorry, that's defense. Sorry. But
Justin Herbert is 4th in the league in passing right now.
Yeah. That sounds about right. I was going to say, just a simple look, you can tell their offense has been clicking.
Yeah.
They're not struggling getting to the end zone, and things like I forget who it was. Was it KC where we saw them battling back, and you saw Justin Herbert take the ball and basically win that game at the end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, like I've sort of said in the beginning, trends is something that you like to look at. It's a common tool that's used to help you just give a little bit of a barometer and gauge to things. That being said, I kind of like the Chargers coming into this game. Some of the stuff I'm seeing on paper, yes, Baltimore has that top offense in the league, which to many might be a little bit of a surprise. If you remember, like I said at the beginning of the year, for the Baltimore Ravens to have a strong season that may run deep into the offense, you needed an MVP-like season out of Lamar. And that's where I hinted at things like you might want to play a Lamar MVP bet versus betting on whatever odds you're getting on a potential going to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, that type of play. And you see so far that's worked out well, where even if the team isn't necessarily picking up W's, Lamar overall as a player is looking good, and the stats and things he's doing week in and week out are coming in for you. But I do like the Chargers +3 there. I have a feeling that they might win outright. Baltimore's pass defense does seem like a concern regardless of who they're playing. Y'all have gotten on here and, expressed many of the things y'all have seen. When you start talking about things like tackling being an issue, and you talk about a team with explosive playmaking ability, that's the one thing you don't want. You don't want somebody getting that second chance.
Yeah, I think it could get a little ugly with those middle linebackers trying to bring down Austin Eckler, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, and so going on to a game I really like this week, another underdog. I'm gonna be on Arizona in the Arizona-Cleveland game. They're +3 going into that. They are 4-1 against the spread this year. 3-0 on the road. A couple things you like to see, a team being able to play outside of their comfort zone, away from the home confines and the home fans, not sleeping in their own beds, things like that. That pass offense has come in pretty much week in and week out so far. If anything, you're concerned with this team is on the defensive side of the ball. And, brush wise, yes, they're bottom of the league, 28th, I believe. But you're also seeing they're playing the pass a lot better. So that rushing number could have some to do with how the games are playing out. Teams may be throwing the pass better and they're just simply playing that better. Or, you're in a pass heavy mode and that occasional handoff is going for 7, 8, 9 yards instead of your typical 3 or 4. So that number there may be slightly inflated. But I do think that the way Cleveland is set up, they're set up more to have success on the run with Hunt and Chubb in the backfield, and they've been doing it. They're number 1 in the league, I believe, in offensive rushing. In that second up. No, they're somewhere in that range, I believe. But, you got a strong running team that's coming in. You might not see the typical scoring that you've seen out of Arizona just because they may not have as many possessions and things like that. A bit of a tougher defense. The Clowney acquisition has kind of worked out well for Cleveland, even if he's not out there making plays. That ability to disrupt and maybe free up another player, whether it be on the defensive line or a linebacker, something like that, it can go a long way with the team. Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, I do like Arizona in this game. They've been good against the spread, being good away from home. What are they? They're 4-1 on the season, or
5 Arizona. They're 5-0.
Yeah. See, so we're talking about a hot team. Winning both. Regardless of where they go, regardless of who's lining up across from them. So the fact that you're going to give me points in that game, plus everything I just said, I'll happily jump on Arizona in that case. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, this year we've seen underdogs winning more just in general, if you look at the splits. Then we have Seattle and Pittsburgh playing in the Sunday night game. It's probably going to be an ugly game. I don't see much on either side of the ball that says, we can lean on this or we can lean on that. When you start comparing these two offenses, there's not much to compare at the moment with Russell Wilson being out. I do like the fact that, yes, there may be a lot of questions with a player like Geno Smith. We did see what we saw at the end of that last game, and he wanted to go out there and win. He was mad at himself for not finishing off that game better.
Yeah.
And when you have players like a DJ Metcalf and a Tyler Lockett, those are the types of players where all you got to do is get the ball in their hands. You're not asking Geno to win the game, And if you make a bad throw, they can save you. You make a bad play, they can save you. One missed tackle, they're off downfield 70 yards.
Yeah.
I don't really see that on the Steelers side of the ball when you start talking offenses. Like, yes, Juju, I think, has probably underperformed some this year.
Well, Juju's out. He's out for the year now.
Yeah.
They said,
he's
getting season-ending surgery
on his shoulder, right?
On the shoulder. They'll be without him.
And that just shows you how abysmal their offense has been this year. That like losing star offensive player is not headline news.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But that's even more reason that I'm gonna be on Seattle in this game. Give me 1 second. I just want to double check that. I believe Seattle was the underdog in this game, but I just wanted to double check that.
Yeah, I would imagine they were. People do not like Geno Smith.
Yeah, that's sort of the
Not big
impression I
fans.
got.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we got Seattle at +4.5 in this game, and you have second to last worst rushing offense, 19th passing offense. They're not winning the game in turnover columns. Both teams are about middle of the road against the spread. So like I said, we've seen underdogs win out more this year. Getting those points, the fact that you're talking about potentially the better playmakers being on Seattle's side of the ball, that's where that's the team I'm going to take. And so I'm gonna be with Seattle taking the points there. Would it shock me if Seattle lost this game? Geno Smith came out and 15 for 35, 125. No, I would not be shocked.
Right.
But I'm not putting faith in Geno as much as I am as some of the other players on the offense and some of the other things that the team is doing.
Yeah.
Like they're 1-4 in the over-under department, so those are showing some potentially low-scoring games, which is one of those things that looks better for the underdog than it does a favorite.
Yeah.
Right. And that's going to bring us to the Monday night game where we see Buffalo going up against another competitor that might be slightly I don't want to say undersized, but I don't think we'll see Tennessee's wide receivers at full strength, even if they do play. Hamstrings are these injuries that they linger, they stick around. Even if a guy's out there playing, he's not close to that 100%, that 90% that you would see on any given Sunday. Right. And when things like that come into play, you talk about a player potentially playing easily 20 to 25% less of the snaps that they would if under healthy circumstances,
and just not playing as well.
Exactly. There's still that chance that they won't play at all. This being Wednesday and making my picks now, it does leave that window that something could happen, something could change, but as of now, where the line sits and knowing what we know, I feel confident in going with Buffalo. 4-1 against the spread. One of the best offenses right now in the league. The defense has basically stopped everybody they've gone up against. I mean, there's not too much you look at Buffalo and go, there's an issue. There's a problem. This is how we beat that team. Now, not to say that they're perfect, that they're going to go win the Super Bowl or anything like that. But when you just talk about the teams that have been lining up week after week and consistently produced essentially the same outcome, Buffalo is that team. And so with the -6 against Tennessee, I could see this be one of those games that turns into a blowout. We could see Buffalo win by 10, win by 20 like we've seen in some weeks. Tennessee being a team that likes to run the ball, that run-heavy game, relying on Derrick Henry. If they get the lead, they're going to rely on that run more, so you don't see that high-scoring game. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I wouldn't be shocked if they like to try and control time of possession and things like that in their wins and in those instances that they're not behind teams, because it allows you to rely on a player like Derrick Henry more. But in a game where you're going up against a team that can probably go tick for tack against you, match whatever you do, you got to have that ability to get that big play score and that big play drive and things like that. Where we saw a team like Baltimore and those drops with Hollywood Brown completely changed the Detroit game, and not only from a potential outcome of losing the game outright, but against the spread completely.
Yeah.
And so, I'm going to be on Buffalo there with the -6. I do think they have a chance to win big, if, not just covering that game. These are my picks, for this week. I do want to give a shout out to Raven Ron. He ended up hitting a bet this weekend on the Red River rivalry. And
Nice.
he had asked me last week, about having a preference over maybe, I believe it was spreads versus over-unders. And like I said then, play what you know. Play what you're comfortable with. If you got a preference for one thing and, you feel like you might have, knowledge or a little bit of insight, do that. And for him, it worked out. He told me the total on the game, and not knowing anything about it off the top of my head, he said the number was somewhere around 56, somewhere in that range. I'd have put the number at 80, honestly.
All right.
Well, not knowing anything about the game, he fires back with the actual total from the game, and it was 106. So just to give you an idea, a game that traditionally you see those high scores, was a Big 12 matchup, Texas and Oklahoma, while they're still technically in the Big 12.
Yeah.
That, like I said, knowing nothing about the game, I'd have put the total around 80. I wouldn't be shocked if somebody might have gotten fired behind this total being around 56. But yeah, so, with things like that, it could be as simple as just playing what you know, sticking with teams that you know. And, like I'll tell you, the smart move may not always, sometimes that may not be making a play at all. Sometimes it's just not doing anything.
Yeah.
A bad bet is never a good bet.
Right.
If you don't have confidence in what you're doing, there's definitely no reason to do it. If I didn't have confidence in, the teams that I was picking, and at least something that gave me the belief that this team could win, or, at least do what I need to cover the spread, I wouldn't be up here telling you. I'm not going to put my face and my money on the line just to be up here. Like, you want to be right, but at the same time, it's difficult to do this.
Yeah. Big
Exactly.
12 high defense.
No defense in a game. I don't care who the opponents are. You're looking at something like a game total over.
Yep.
So really, you just want to try and stick with what you know, what you might have some inside knowledge on when it comes to something like college football. Just simply being a fan of one team, you might know something about another team just because you play them once or twice every year. And things like that accumulate. I know stuff about the Wake Forest football team, not because I follow Wake Forest.
Right.
I heard somebody say Wake Forest is 6-0, or something like that. Like, yes, that's a bit shocking. But if somebody came to me and said, Wake Forest has won 3 or 4 ACC conference games already or something like that, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm big on a Wake Forest upset from time to time. Like I said one week, nobody was probably out there picking UNC Charlotte, the 49ers, to go out there and upset a Power 5 school. They ain't never done it before. Well, I mean, it was Duke. I ain't high on Duke to begin with. I don't care who you are. It's Duke football. If anybody saw it on Twitter where the Jets running back and the Jets cornerback, who does it better? Well, the Duke player, he's just bumping your typical, bumping. Michael Carter step up there. He's like, when we went into Duke for 2020 and there weren't no fans there, that wasn't nothing new to Duke.
There you go. I mean, he was right at home.
Exactly.
Right. So, all right.
Yeah.
But all right.
Yeah, when it comes to stuff, and if you got a preference for something, work that angle. And if you find out it doesn't work, maybe, readjust, look at things a little differently. Because where some of these games where I've just missed by a point or two, those are the ones that cut the hardest. That's what cuts deep. It's not, this team got blown out. Well, shoot, I didn't know what I was talking about there. But when you losing by, you lose by that hook or a point or two, that's when it's like, man, I was on there. Like, you think I like these pushes? Like, the push don't save you. The push is just saying, hey, you were right there. You almost got it. Where's that State Farm commercial? Up a little bit quicker, Yeah. But so we're definitely looking to put another winning week in the books. I stand by what I say and what I come in here with. If anybody's got any questions, drop them in the comments. Let us know, because I do come through and check the comments on the videos and see if anybody's asked anything. Because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help y'all, maybe educate a few people, pass on what I know, and hopefully along the way, be making money while making money.
All right.
That's
Well,
right.
there you go. That's our lunch money bets with our man Derek. And if you want to chop it up with Derek Moore, he's always in our Discord. And if you want to be a part of the Discord, man, patreon.com/LBHT show. He also hangs out with us in our overtime show, which is going to happen in a few minutes when we close up this show. Again, patreon.com/LBHT show is where you'll find him. Derek, man, I appreciate you coming through, and we'll see you in a few, man.
All right.
Thank you, Derek.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So
that's right, Davon.
He said, yes, we love you, D Weezy. Yes. So
we did get another anonymous Cash App. He says, again, thank you so much. He said the question will be posted. So we'll keep an eye out for that.
All right. So yeah, so we're running a little late, but that's all right. We're going to give you guys your bonus time. But real quick, we're gonna talk about this real quick, man. I gotta talk about this Kyrie and that situation. All right. Look, I'm a Nets
James
fan.
Harden's already done with Kyrie. He's already done with it.
Why? What did he say?
It wasn't so much what he said as what he didn't say, and how it came out, because he was just doing a press conference, and somebody asked him, "Hey, have you spoken with Kyrie? Have you talked to him?" And he was like, "No," and then he just got up and left. And it's just one of those things where, like, how that's going to be interpreted, and you did that intentionally.
Yeah, well, look, I'll say this: if we're on the same page, it doesn't matter what we say in the media, right? If I say, "Hey, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna be short with the media," I'm gonna say this. I know they're gonna take it a certain way, but you and I know what's up. Then it doesn't matter. But Dandy, yeah. Look, Dandy, well, I am a Nets fan. I will say this: it was necessary to bring him because we weren't going to get KD without Kyrie. That was a necessary move. You had to do it. They're a package deal, and it is what it is. I'll do whatever it takes to get somebody like KD on this team. So we did what needed to be done. The antics that Kyrie has done and is doing, he's not worth it. All right. He's a very good player, but he's not worth it. And now that we have Harden on the team, he's definitely not worth it. And, there's been a lot written about this team and how KD, Kyrie, and Harden run the team. Right. And it's true. It's all true. And I had no problem with players running the team because, some of these players run the teams better than a lot of these GMs. A lot of these GMs don't know what they're doing. Right. Yeah. So I don't have a problem with KD running the team how he wants it to be run. Now, the question is, how, at what point does KD and Harden get tired of Kyrie's antics? Because I think the two of them are at different points in their career than Kyrie is, right? Or have different goals, I should say. They have different goals. KD and Harden are playing more for their legacy. I think they care more about their legacy. KD wants to get as many rings as he can. I mean, he's got 2 already. He probably wants to get 2 or 3 more. Harden wants to get his first ring. Kyrie already has a ring, and I feel like he's just not motivated to play basketball at all.
Yeah, Kyrie is not at any point in his career. Kyrie is he's collecting a check and he's trying to get sent home.
Yeah. So I mean, so we haven't gotten to what the latest story was with him, right? He doesn't want to get the vaccine. It's mandatory in the state of New York, and he's not going to be allowed to play in home games if he doesn't get vaccinated. So, they were going to go along with it. Nash had come out and say, look, it is what it is. He's still going to play. He's just not going to play home games. We'll just deal with it for however long. And I guess they made this executive decision up top saying, hey, look, he's not going to play at all. He's not going to practice. He's not going to play until he gets vaccinated. Then I saw a tweet, was a Bleacher Report or one of them, put it out saying that Kyrie isn't even opposed to getting vaccinated himself. He's just making this taking a stand against people who are losing their jobs for not getting vaccinated.
He said that he was going to be the voice for the voiceless, and then he went into a press conference, and when people asked him questions, he said that's private.
Yeah, so
he's just a child, and he just wants attention, and it's whatever. But that's why Brooklyn came out and said that. Well, I mean, not publicly, but the stories out there, they're not going to be offering him a contract extension at all at this point.
As they shouldn't. As they shouldn't.
Yeah,
I wanted him traded last year because I mean even before all this, right? Like we got Harden now. We don't need him.
Yeah.
You know, like we don't need him. And you know, like this stuff is definitely not needed. Like I'm not one of those guys that's big on, oh well, this person's a distraction in the locker room and all that stuff, right? But like he just he's a voice of the fools. Yeah, throwing a tantrum.
Anytime anybody calls somebody else a fool, I'm here for it. I'm gonna laugh at that.
Yeah, like because I know him and KD are friends, and KD wants to have his back, right? But if you're in KD's situation, if you're in KD's situation and your friend is doing this, and you know what you're about, you know you're trying to win championships. That's what you're here for, and you're focused on this. And the season comes along, and your friend ain't on the same page. Like he off doing other things, and he talking about he keeps on saying basketball is not the most important thing. To me, it is. To me, it is. Like if that's how you feel, I don't want you on a court with me. You know what I'm saying? I want people on a court that when we're playing, you're fully locked in, and it doesn't seem like that's the case with him. I can't trust you.
Yeah. Raven says Harden and Durant need to ask Kyrie, you either in or out. No part-time players accepted.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We're not going to
and I suspect that that's exactly what happened. And you know, Kyrie looked at them and said, "Do as thou wilt." And that's when the Brooklyn Nets said, "Yo, you're not playing at all."
Yeah, yeah. Danny said she says that they got Stephen A. Smith neck today for saying exactly what Jose is saying now. Yeah, that's because Stephen A. has really he's lost a lot of goodwill with people, man, because he's always shouting and just putting down people, and like he's just become more of a performance person, more of a character than an actual journalist or reporter. So like, yeah, it's hard to take anything Stephen A. Smith is saying seriously, whether it's the truth or not, or it's factual or not, you know. So that's what it is with Stephen
A. Jason asking, how would I like it in a Jose versus B NBA Finals, the Lakers and the Nets? Lakers take that all day.
Here we go. Look, you got your own ticking time bomb over there in Westbrook. Okay,
that's
right. I said it. That's right. I said it.
Russell Westbrook is in a very good place. He is happy. That is a happy man. Got a question from Eric here. Says, will Mr. Jackson sign a fully guaranteed contract of $200 to $240 million over 4 years in the offseason?
That's a perfect question to start bonus time.
He has been the Ravens team for a very long time. I'm going to say the answer is no. I don't think he gets a fully guaranteed contract, but I do think it'll be,
it's going to be the most guaranteed.
It won't be as much as Pat Mahomes, but it'll be second largest contract ever signed in the NFL.
I think it's going to be the most guaranteed money in NFL history. That's what I think it's going to be.
Yeah,
it's going to be the most guaranteed.
It better be.
I don't think
if we get to the end of the season and he wins MVP, he might get more money than Pat Mahomes.
Like, I mean, I wouldn't want it to be as long as Pat Mahomes just for his sake, right? Like, not as a fan, just as a fan of his. I would not want him to do a 10-year contract. I would only want him to do the LeBron James thing. I'm only signing in 3-4 year deals, so I can keep getting a bigger contract in a few years, right? I don't want to go through the whole renegotiating, reworking deal, all that stuff. No, I'll do 3 years. I'll do 3 years, 150 million fully guaranteed. I'll do 4 years, 200 mil fully guaranteed, or 180 of it guaranteed, or something like that. And in 4 years, because in 4 years he's only going to be 28 years old, right? Yes, we'll do, and he'll just be touching his prime. We'll do another deal then.
2 of the biggest contracts in the history of the NFL,
and they'll give it to him. Do you know? Lamar Jackson right now, total yards, he's ranked 18th for overall team offense.
He's been phenomenal so far.
So
and when I say so far, I mean from 2018 until now.
He's got more yards total than 14 other teams.
Yeah,
that's insane, man. All right.
Attitude Pop says, y'all not winning the chip without Kyrie. They ain't winning it with him, man.
We don't need Kyrie to win a chip. In fact, if Harden was just a little bit healthier last year, we would have won it. We do not need Kyrie to win a chip at all. What does Kyrie do that Harden doesn't do?
No.
Nothing. Like, he's not needed. You know, he's not even the point guard anymore. That's Harden's job.
I'm willing to bet James can give you some bad philosophy takes. They don't need Kyrie for anything.
Yeah, no, he's not needed. He's not needed. He brought KD here. You know, job well done. That's fine. Now you can go. If you're not, I mean, look, if he stays and he's playing, he's an excellent player. That's fine. But if you're not going to be fully in, then I don't care. We don't need you here.
That's right, Davon.
Hashtag late show, baby. That's what Davon said. All right.
They don't
need a score. You didn't. So I guess you didn't watch basketball at all last year. That's the last thing we need. Like we have all the scoring in the world. You know, we use a little bit more defense, but yeah, scoring is not a problem. I mean, KD and Harden, you're saying we need scoring? Come on, man.
KD and Harden are two of the greatest scorers of all time. They'll be fine there. They need to stay healthy.
Yes.
Because I don't want to hear any excuses when they don't win.
Yeah. Garnett says Carmelo cursing at their every rebound. Can't wait. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Jonathan Washington says, Jose, I'm trying to save you. Come join the Bulls bandwagon. No. Before that Nets ship sinks, Bronny, you can join the Lakers relying on them vitamin pills. Look,
you're getting a little too hype off the dude who left Toronto the year before they won a championship and has been anonymous since.
Listen, the Bulls organization is a dumpster fire. Okay, I would like. Yes, you got a solid looking team now. They're not winning anything. They'll be competitive. They will. They're not winning anything. And I just no. I'm not jumping on the Bulls bandwagon. What Brooklyn is doing is like they're laying the foundation for years to come, because we laugh at it now. It's the same way people laughed at LeBron and how he ran things in Cleveland, right? Everybody used to joke about it. Oh, he's the GM over there. Oh, he's running the ship. Yeah, but now everywhere LeBron goes, he wins championships, right? And you would do anything to have LeBron on your team. And KD is not that far off from LeBron. You know, KD and Harden is not that far off, you know, from KD. In fact, he's right up there in terms of scoring. So you have some of the greatest players of all time on your team, and when they come to your organization, you don't hold them back. You give them whatever they want. And it might seem like, oh well, you know, you're being bullied or whatever. No, you're catering to these guys that are trying to win you championships. And well past the time that they're gone, that's going to send a message to other star players. This organization knows how to treat stars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they're doing a great thing. It's not just about right now. It's about the future as well. Because where would you rather go if you're a star player? A team that's not going to tell you no, or a team that's going to tell you no for, you know, things that you think are important to you?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, no, I'm all on board with what they're doing.
Danny, this is hurtful. It's already a dope show.
Daddy said this would be a dope call-in show. Yes. No, we don't do calls, man. We don't want to do that, man. You guys have been asking about that, man. People have been asking us about doing a call-in show since like the time we had like since we had like 20 subscribers. People were like, you do call-ins? No, we don't do call-ins.
Every single person who watches this show, like, man, y'all don't know anything. Let me call in and set you straight.
Look, Danity, no, straight up. If look, we do an overtime show, which we're about to start right now because we're like 40 minutes over. I guess we should talk about the tiers that we have on Patreon.
That's the call-in show.
Yes, that's the call-in show. At the $10 tier, you can come on screen with us. We just hang out for however long, and we talk about anything and everything. It's a lot of fun. The things that we're talking about now, we can continue talking about that. Yeah, that's your call-in show right there. That's what we're gonna be doing.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So we are
y'all need to go sign up right now because Garnet got some stories to tell in the OT from what I hear.
Yes, Garnet's got a story to tell us. He called me and told me the story. But he's going to tell it in the overtime show. So if you want to be a part of that, patreon.com/LBHT show. There are two tiers, $3 tier, $10 tier. be given the short version, what they get from both tiers before we get out of here.
Yeah, so the $3 tier, you get an invite to the Overtime Show, which is the show we do every week after this one. It's a lot of fun. Like you said, we talk about anything and everything there. It also gets you an invite into our yearly Survivor League in the NFL, where you make one pick a week. If your team wins, you move on. If they lose, you're out. And at the end of the season, we give away a trophy for that. The $10 tier, you get an on-screen invite into the Overtime Show, so you can come on the stream and talk with us. You get an invite into our Dynasty Football League, where we give away a customized championship belt at the end of the season. You get the ability to request specific content, articles and videos that you want to see, on specific topics. And both will get you entrance into our Discord channel. Up until very recently, we were giving away the Founders Coins in the $10 tier. Those are all gone now, but we will be starting up a new tier with a new giveaway as well.
Yep. Very shortly. So yeah, go ahead and sign up. If you want to join the patron, the patrons only show, the Overtime Show. If not, look, we basically gave you a Overtime Show tonight, so you're welcome. But if not, man, thank you for hanging out with us. It's been a lot of fun, and we usually do a post game show on the weekend. So if anything, we'll see you this weekend. And as always, we'll always be here on Wednesday giving you the LBHT Show, 7:15 p.m. All right. And once again, if you're new, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe on your way out. What are you gonna say, B?
And I forgot to mention that we also, for patrons, we do kind of pop-up shows on the weekend.
Yes, we do pop-up shows.
We do live streams on the weekends as well.
Yeah. All right, y'all. That's it. Patrons, I already put the link in Patreon. Just give us a couple minutes to set up, and we'll see you soon. Everybody else, y'all have a good night. We'll see you next time. Peace out.